A licensed electrical contractor can help you with any electrical challenge in your home. However, let's take a few moments to discuss what you should know about the rough-in phase of the wiring process. The rough-in wiring phase takes place after the framing, heating, and plumbing phases of your new construction or remodel have been completed. It is the stage where you actually pull and install the electrical cables to every part of your home, according to the construction plans already approved. It is recommended that before you pull any cables, locate and install your electrical boxes. Electrical boxes can be metal or plastic. In the past, electrical boxes were almost exclusively metal. However, in contemporary construction, plastic boxes are common. All splicing of cables for receptacles, switches, light fixtures, and any other electrical connection must be done within electrical boxes. When mounting electrical boxes, there are certain guidelines and codes that should be followed. When installing electrical boxes for floor outlets, measure and mount the box at a height of 12 inches from the floor to the center of the box. Make sure that the front face of the electrical box extends far enough beyond the edge of the stud to account for the thickness of the drywall or other wall covering which you'll install later. Electrical boxes for outlets located above countertops or work areas should be centered 8 inches above the counter surface, and electrical boxes reserved for switches should be installed at a height approximately 48 inches above the floor. Around door frames, make sure you mount the switch boxes on the same side of the door as the doorknob. Make sure that in your plans, any wall 4 feet or wider must have at least one floor outlet, and any wall wider than 12 feet must have at least 2 outlets. Also, outlets should never be more than 12 feet apart on any wall. Likewise, any countertop 4 feet wide or less must have at least one outlet, and any counter wider than 4 feet must have at least 2 outlets. These outlets should never be more than 48 inches apart. When you pull cable to various locations in your home during new construction or remodel, follow these guidelines. Run cables centered along studs or joists. Always leave at least 1 1/4 inch of space between the cable and the edge of the stud. Secure the cable to the studs by placing a 1/2 inch cable staple at least every 4.5 feet. Most electricians space these staples even closer than that as needed. Also, fasten cables to studs at least 12 inches from the entrance of a hole. When drilling holes for the cables through wooden studs, drill the hole in the center of the stud, leaving at least 1 1/4 inches between the hole's edge and the edge of the stud. If you can't keep a 1 1/4 inch distance, place a nail plate on the edge of the stud to protect the cable from the threat of nails. Feel free to use as many nail plates as you like in the areas where cables may be vulnerable. It is recommended that you use a 3/4 inch auger bit to drill holes large enough to allow you to pass cables comfortably through the studs. When installing cable, pull the long cable runs first, then use shorter cables to connect from box to box. When running a cable into a metal electrical box that contains a cable clamp, remove a knockout tab on the top or bottom of the box. Feed in the cable, and then staple the cable to a stud within 12 inches from the box. When ready, tighten the cable and clamp inside the box in this manner. When you're using a plastic electrical box or one that doesn't contain a cable clamp, secure the cable to an adjacent stud by placing a staple within 8 inches from the box. For your working convenience, allow approximately 6 to 8 inches of extra cable to extend beyond the edge of the box. Later, you will prep these wires by stripping back the cable jacket to expose the inner wires. Remove and discard the paper separation material. Leave approximately 1/2 inch of the jacket showing inside the box. Use wire strippers to remove 1/2 to 3/4 inch of sheathing on each wire for the electrical connections you'll make later.